There's only like 2 chords in the verse.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a good little vamp. Oh.
So now you'll be reacting to the K-indie rock band called Hyukoh. The first song you'll be reacting to is called Citizen Kane and was released on their 2018 album. The song warns that living in excess of anything can lead to unhappiness and harm.
The song questions fast-paced living and serves as a reminder to take things slowly.
And the album that this song is from, it contains recurring themes of rebellion, love, and happiness.
3, 2, 1.
This is not moderation.
So it's fast-paced. So this is representing too fast.
The angst.
Fifths, man.
I dig like the surf rock vibe.
Parallel fits.
It's like a whole different genre.
Yeah.
It's like almost alternative.
Yeah, I know. It's like a mixture of like hard rock and then 60s.
Yeah.
Like,
The beat isn't 60s.
yeah.
Like instrumentation and echo.
I like the syncopation. Da-da-da-da. Da-da-da.
Halftime. Correct.
Now I'm no longer going like this.
Yeah.
I'm going like. Let's just not talk when we react. Let's just dance. This is how this makes me feel. Now it's like I like so get the
but then that
memo here.
scream and then all of a sudden it comes back in super fast paced. That is so awesome. That drummer's gonna die.
Very
How do you
wall
do-
of sound.
Yeah. How do you?
I mean, it's not that harmonically, you know, crazy, but it's just a solid song. A lot of good, different sections.
The like super like jam and drums and the like very grungy guitars and bass, like it just makes me feel like anxious, which is definitely a personal opinion.
Yeah. See, and I can understand why you feel that way, but like it frees me.
It has like the quarter notes feels like it's driving, but yet slightly delayed. Does that make sense? Yeah. It's really cool.
I think the halftime is really effective because I feel like just because of like of what the drums are doing and just how it feels more cut time.
Yeah.
I feel like if they didn't have a section like this, it almost allows you, like, as a listener, to catch your breath.
Yeah, it'd be a little
Otherwise,
too
I
much.
feel like too much.
Yeah,
I'd
definitely be
oh
too
my
much.
goodness.
Oh my god, the chorus is a lot. Is this a chorus? It's more like a everybody play now.
This is like my blood pressure is increasing.
Chord. Yeah, it almost sounds like that thing that when you go like this when you're listening to music, like with your ears, and it sounds like it just so good.
And the drums are persistent in that.
Yeah. Whoa.
That was like
That was
the
just
death of man at the end.
Oh my god.
That was so cool. I think that really went with the message, like how it was like relentless, everything going so quickly, and then it like slowed down, and then there was a scream each time after the halftime. It was like ah, and there's like back into that. Their guitarist is so good. Like I love the sound and the notes. Like,
Can we
when
just
said
like
it.
listen to that a couple more times and then just call it a day? I'd be happy.
Please sum up your thoughts and then explain maybe why to those who don't know how drum set works,
Sure.
like why that part is tiring.
The drum set part is tiring just because like you hear the hi-hat going like tucka, 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 like playing a lot of like eighth notes. So he's probably doing that with one hand, which like if you do that for 4 minutes, like it's tiring, just like muscle-wise. Also, like all the fills he was doing were 16th notes, like dig, 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 dig. So I mean, just out of personal experience playing a song like that, like I used to be in a rock band. my hands would hurt just because you're also using bigger sticks because you're playing with like other instruments that are amplified. It's not like jazz where most, you know, of the instruments are acoustic. So because of that, and you're using larger sticks, it just requires a lot more muscles from your hands and arms, which it's just like gonna make you tired. That's why like a lot of people and like hard rock and heavy metal bands and stuff like that, if you look at the drummers, a good portion of them are like legit ripped. Like they're very fit because you need to be to play music like that.
That was great. I loved it. From like technical standpoint, the drumming was awesome, super high energy. The bass playing was cool. The like format of the song was awesome. I thought it was a perfect length for what it was. They didn't oversaturate with words. They allowed there to be like instrumental sections that kind of like let it breathe. Gave it a couple different colors, which was cool. I thought it was awesome. And now for a totally different opinion.
No, I mean, like, for someone who enjoys that kind of music, it's a gem. I tend to find, like, super, like, grungy music is just very, like, stressful for me to listen to for whatever reason.
I think there are bands that have done similar things. I thought the rhythm at the end, actually, when the guy was soloing over it, which was almost like, it's like almost like a Celtic rhythm. That was kind of cool, actually. I listen to a lot of rock, and this doesn't seem like anything new or original, except for maybe the rhythm at the end. And maybe the texture I thought was actually pretty solid, but like they're obviously like good musicians, like they're all playing together. The singer was good. The solo was fine, but like, yeah, I didn't like it.
Okay.
Wow. The way that it just makes you want to anticipate like what they're gonna sing. The lyrics was saying it's like, why are you rushing, taxi driver?
Uh-huh.
Yeah, it's like just having that lyric line. And the way it changes. So like you would just say it normally and then later you have layers and then after it becomes like a chant and it's so cool.
Next up is another one of their songs. So this is one of their 2014 releases called Our Place.
Our Place is a song about loneliness, and the singer wants someone special to hold them tight, even though that person is out of reach and lives a completely different life.
For real though. All right, Hugo.
Hyukoh.
Hey. It's almost funk.
Yeah, this is awesome. I love this.
Weird progression with like the bass line.
It is. Parallel. The drumming is so tight. Bass playing is super grooving.
Yeah.
Holy fuck.
The bass player's jamming.
He uses the same melody for two chords that are a tritone apart, which is pretty incredible.
I love how the bass keeps building.
There's only like 2 chords in the verse.
Yeah, it's cool. It's a good little vamp. Oh.
Now these 2 chords are a major second apart, so it's some more back and forth instead of that jarring, hopping around quality.
I love the triplet motives throughout this. I do too, and I like how they're having his voice come in with like his vocal rhythm is the same as what's happening in the drums. Like they're together. It's like rhythmic unison right there.
Oh yeah, with
And
the
then-
guitar as
yeah.
well.
This is like such interesting songwriting because
Yeah.
like I think I've probably said this before, every turn feels new but familiar. It's perfect. It's so valuable in pop music.
Oh. So you get a smoother version of the tritone progression as well. Almost octatonic stuff going on. Ooh. The song has its own logic. Like it lands on an A major dominant 7th chord for some reason.
Yeah, somebody needs to solo. That's what it needs. Okay, great.
This is cool because it's like total improvisation sounding in the guitar, but then the drums are doing kind of like a marching band sounding
militaristic.
thing. Yeah, military like. So it's like that's very structured and the guitar is very not structured going on at the same time.
Like the background parts are so like rhythmically focused that it's repetitive, but it's interesting. Da-da-da-da. I also like how his voice is mixed.
The vocal melody here, it has the potential to sound optimistic, and every time I kind of expect that, but every time it's like nah, nah, and then it doesn't go anywhere.
Like
it goes back down. It's like whatever the situation is with this like story, it's like not gonna work out. It's
like
pretty
things are going
pessimistic
fine, but then they're
overall.
like kind of just.
Yeah, it's like Mahler 6, like devastation wins in the end.
It is drifting away. It's drifting back and forth.
They're a big fan of their repeated hit chords.
Yep. I like this part. Hey. Again.
Ooh. Just a lack of
Yeah, he's got such a cool voice.
percussive. Yeah, the lack of percussive instrumentation is nice after having so much of it.
Yeah. Again, like the guitars they use are super like 60s sounding timbre. It's a long song.
I was actually just gonna say,
Yeah.
it's getting a little bit lengthy, but it's so good. Like,
Oh yeah, no, that's not a criticism. It's just like they have more to say. I mean, I just played Mahler 6, which is the last movement itself is a half an hour.
Oh, here we go. A major.
Let's emphasize the strong beats. Heck yeah.
they're the way that they use melodies, the way that they used, the song is over, the way that they used melodies to make dissonant harmony sound consonant is so cool. Because they were moving by tritone, and it was just so, like super compelling, but also like you could definitely see the beauty in something that does not that rubs a little bit weirdly on the ear.
Very interesting harmonically too. There really were only like 2 chords in the whole piece, but like the variation and rhythm and tempo really kept your interest even with like a small amount of material. So if you ever are rating a song with like one thing remains constant through the whole thing, you have to vary the other aspects in order to keep it interesting, and they did that really well.
So interesting.
Because it's just like, there's some really interesting colors that they had going on with like the chords.
Definitely did.
The rhythm I did find to get a little repetitive towards the end, which is, I mean, probably what they were going for. I don't think I necessarily bought into it as well, but it's like they started to add textures and stuff towards the end to start to really build, but I think I was already kind of like checked out.
I would agree with that. That's kind of a thing though with this sort of music.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Actually what they did that was interesting, whenever it became a little more complex, there was some interesting like really creative rhythms between the guitars and the bass, especially. The way the bass and guitars communicated was especially unique. But there was one point where one of the guitars was muting, another was da-da-da-dun, 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 and then it was, I guess it had to be the bass, but he was also outlining the beat. That was good. I don't remember what the muting rhythm was, but I actually thought that they did, their nuanced use of rhythm was good, because most rock is not like that, and that was really good. I also really liked the like ambient, like, you know, like blossoming of sound that happened. That was good.
What a groove. The first riff we hear, and probably the one that appears the most, is very jagged, and it involves 2 dominant 7th chords and that are a tritone apart. And because of the tonal ambiguity, which means there's not a clear key to what that section is, or the entire song as a matter of fact, I think the song is atonal. I don't think the song has a key section at all. And that's what makes certain weird chords work so well. And again, like I said, it feels like a late Debussy piece in the way it uses these dominant 7th chords, because he uses dominant 7th chords and just plays around a lot. It's a pretty long song, but it grabs your attention throughout.
Yeah. And of the 2 songs, which one did you prefer?
This one.
Although they were both fantastic. I just happen to like this one more.
I felt like I hadn't heard something like this before.
Yeah. Sometimes with songs like that are stylized in the way that the first one was, that's sort of like that grungy sort of punk vibe, it can almost feel like there's just a track of distortion constantly throughout the whole thing. So like what I really appreciated about this is that it like breathed, you know?
That's true.
I definitely like the first one, Citizen Kane.
That one was pretty awesome. Yeah.
And it was just like different, you know, like they developed their ideas more, and the motives that they did were very melodic. It wasn't just stagnant, you know, like it had more direction. And then like the contrast, like going double time, super effective. I thought that was a really great song. Like they're very talented.
The fact that I've had time to listen to both these songs and also catching Citizen Kane live. Citizen Kane is a really cool song to hear on first listen, but it definitely, the repetitive nature of it shows on repeat listens. And I don't think it's one of Hyukoh's strongest songs, while the other one is so inventive and somehow keeps your attention longer. You're not sure what to feel when listening to it, just because you don't know if it's major, if it's in minor. You're just kind of floating around in this weird limbo, what they call unconscious dream space, to quote Inception a little bit. So I definitely prefer Our Place. I definitely prefer Our Place, even though Citizen Kane is an alt-rock bop for sure.
Hello everyone, I'm omg-horns channel creator, and I'd like to thank you for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed or learned something from it. If you'd like to support us or help ReacttotheK grow, you can do so by visiting our Patreon and help us out by pledging any amount you can. Big tip of the hat to our Superstar Idol patrons. Thanks for the love. Till next time.